There she is. She's hopping on.
Hi.
Hi. We just saw your email. You have Chrome now.
Yeah, I have Chrome now on this laptop. I have it on every other device except for this laptop, apparently, which is hilarious. So, yeah.
That's always how it goes.
Hello.
You guys are so bright, and I'm so blue. I don't know what's happening.
I was telling Tyler that when I hopped on, I was like, wow, you're very Twilighty, very ha, ha, ha.
Yes.
You just need some glitter.
You're on brand. You're on brand for the season.
Exactly.
There we go. There we go. Okay, I'll just be the weird blue in the middle of your bright sunshinies.
Depending on how you set it up, ultimately, you might be on top or the bottom or left or right or who knows. Because we usually like to have our guests in the middle.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So that would be you,
center.
Yes, it'd be you. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening. Like, thank you so much for taking such a risk with like our tiny little podcast and coming on talking to us today.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when you guys emailed, I was like, you want me on a podcast? Oh my gosh.
Yes, we want you.
and then I went and watched a whole bunch of your stuff and I was like, this is so cool. You guys like get so many cool. I'm a huge audiobook person, so you got so many narrators on and I was like, this is so cool.
Let me tell you,
gosh.
like the fangirling is so mutual because with Tyler and I, we all have like our dream people that we want on. And so for me, like one of the people was Brandon Francis. And I was like, I freaked out when he told me he would be on. And Tyler did the exact same when you agreed to be on our podcast. She's like, oh my God, Julie the bookish animator said she'd be on our podcast.
I literally I ran to my husband. I'm like, oh my God, Julie said yes. She's going to come on the podcast. He's like, who? I was like, the bookish animator.
So
he's
fair.
Like, who? Yeah. He's like, he's so
like, you
not a
don't
book guy.
understand.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, we don't want to be too cringy.
No,
Julie,
this is
thank you
lovely.
so much. Okay, great. I also know that you're a Canadian bestie, which is so amazing.
Yeah. Also, I'm originally from Saskatchewan, so hi neighbor.
Oh, that's so cool. I am in rural standard Alberta.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have family in Alberta.
So
That's amazing.
you guys, you Canadians over there. So
Yeah.
I just had to tell you a quick story. I was like scrolling through Reels this morning and there was an Australian who was like, oh, when you finally return home to Canada from, finally return home to Australia from Canada. And she's going through all the things that are kind of different. She's like, and then in the comments, somebody was like, oh yeah, as a fellow Canadian, also, how does it feel not to have milk in bags? And I was like, I just learned about your milk bags from Tyler a few months ago and it still blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have it throughout Canada. So I didn't grow up with it. And it was only when I moved out to
not even
Toronto.
everywhere.
No, it's like a weird East Coast thing.
It is.
As soon as I moved out to Toronto, my at the time was my boyfriend, but then now husband, had to teach me how to do the milk bag thing
Yeah,
because
how do you do it without spilling everything?
I wasn't good at it. I'm going to be honest. It was a learned thing that I had to work on. But yes, it's not everywhere, and it's just out here, and it's weird.
It's so strange. We had it in Calgary because that's where I was like raised, but I was born in Quebec. So like I think it just like followed us when we moved to Calgary when I was like 4. But it was so strange. It was like one of those things that you just learned like as like an adult skill that you literally don't need anymore because we have cartons of milk now. So
Yeah, that's what I grew up with. It was normal.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
But now
well-
this is officially the weirdest podcast beginning ever. But
We haven't even really started. Well, should we do
No.
a like literal intro and
yeah,
then
go do
into-
housekeeping.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. Okay, we'll do our intro.
Bring it down to like from like 10 to like 6. Hello, guys, and welcome to a very exciting episode of
Yes.
Little Prince. I am having a literal pinch me moment.
I think you peed your
I
pants
cannot. My pants are clean. Okay, I
for now.
for now. But we want to get right into it. We're so excited and so honored to have you on. JV, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Yes. Oh my gosh, we are fangirling over here. Okay, we have Julia, or better known as the bookish animator. And guys, if you don't know her stuff, like are you living under a rock? What the hell is even
Seriously.
going on? You are. And we're gonna get into it, but.
Yeah.
Hi, Julia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm genuinely so excited to talk to you guys.
I don't think you're as excited as we are, but fair.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so getting into it, so I think that if people know you and your, massive following that you have on Instagram, and do you do TikTok as well, or is it primarily just Instagram?
It's primarily Instagram. I do also have a YouTube channel. I feel very bad that I kind of neglect my YouTube channel pretty hard. But I do eventually want to get back into doing it. I don't have a TikTok anymore. I did have a TikTok. And then TikTok as a platform is very different, I find,
Yes.
just in the reception and the comment sections and things like that. And I am a sensitive little baby. And
Yeah.
so I was on TikTok for a little while. And then after like, I want to say maybe 6 months, I ended up taking my TikTok down just because mental health wise, I was enjoying
Mhm.
myself so much more on Instagram and on YouTube that it
Yeah.
didn't really make sense to keep a platform where I just every time that I went in, I wasn't feeling great. And
Yes.
so I ended up taking it down. There were lovely people on TikTok. I don't want to say that everybody was mean on TikTok, but there were just a few instances where I was just like, oh, you know what? If I'm not feeling good posting, and especially as
Mhm.
a creative, when you have to like kind of make yourself post. If I wasn't feeling good about it, I was just like, you know what? I have a great community on these two other platforms that are so much more supportive and sweet and kind, safe spaces also for other people that are coming into the comment section. I think about that a lot. Like, I love that my comment
Yes.
sections on both YouTube and Instagram are like very safe 99% of the time. So
Mhm.
even if you're somebody coming into my comment section, you can kind of tell like everybody in here is nice. You're not gonna like get jump scared by scrolling my comment section, which is really important
I
to me
love
too.
that. Oh, sorry. I have a crazy kitty right now running around over here. That you're so right. We were talking about early on about sort of the difference between TikTok and Instagram. And for me,
Yeah.
Instagram just feels like a cozy kind of cabin and
Yeah.
Yeah.
around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Versus TikTok to me feels like one of those new architectural builds, very sterile, cold. Like it's
Yes.
really just to scroll versus Instagram for me is more about
Yeah.
actual connection.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot more
yeah, I
community
feel that.
focused, and
Yeah.
I just appreciate that a lot more.
Yeah.
And of course, like this was me starting out. I had no idea, so I'm happy that I tried everything
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
learned what worked for me and what didn't work for me. And yeah,
That's all it is, right? It's just about learning what works for you and what jives better with you, right? And mental health,
yeah,
it's so important to protect that too. And there are people who are like, well, if you're a creator, you're out there, you're putting your stuff out there, like you have to live with. No, I don't have to live with. I don't.
Yeah.
yes,
I don't have to. Like, I'm an actual person. And sometimes it feels like people forget that, right? They're like,
Yeah.
you're
yes,
just somebody hiding behind a screen and you think you get to be mean. But, like I live a whole ass life
yeah.
outside of what you see of me.
Absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
also because I'm a cartoon on the internet, that adds that extra
Yeah.
level of separation
Yes,
that
you're right.
sometimes I
Yeah.
think people just assume that I'm not a real person behind this animation or that maybe I don't see it. But I very much do. And
Yeah.
it's hard to be motivated and inspired when you're looking at comments that are really cruel or just like
Yes.
and antagonistic, just trying to
Yeah.
start a
Yeah.
fight in a comment section. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to deal with
Why are
this.
we doing this? Yeah.
Yeah.
How does
Anybody who fights Julia, I will fight them.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
I'm
she will.
crazy Canadian. I will.
I
I want to see that.
I love this too because anytime that I do post on social media, like in my story or something, I was like, I had a not nice comment today. I do get a lot of really lovely comments who are like, I'll fight
Mhm.
someone, and I'm like, I appreciate the energy so much, but we're actually so good.
Yeah.
We're
But
okay.
it's so nice to have a place like and I think that the character that you created, right? Like as your kind of identity
Mhm.
was such a smart from a creator's perspective, was such a smart way to also disassociate yourself a little bit from your content, right? Because
Yes.
you have this the version of you,
Yeah.
which is just so cute and little petite. And how can you be mad at her? How could you say mean things to her? She's so little
I
and so
I
cute.
know.
agree. I always like empathized with cartoon characters. I remember growing up, there was like a chipmunk animated movie, and there was like this little tiny little baby penguin, and I cried. And I was like maybe 4 or 5 or 6 years old, and it was like abandoned by its mom. I don't know. For me, animated characters, I'm like, ah, yeah.
I fully agree. Well, and for me it was like I started all of this with like 200 followers. They were all people that knew me personally, like
Yeah.
knew me since
Yeah.
like high
Yeah.
school. Like I started my art accounts back in high school. I think I
Yeah.
was like 16.
Wow.
That's
And
incredible.
so like I've been on Instagram for over 10 years at this point. And
Wow.
it was only in the last year that this all happened. But when I was doing this little like mini project just for myself kind of thing, I was like, I don't really want to put my face on social media. I'm
Yeah.
not sure that I'm comfortable with that. And
Mhm.
so I knew how to animate and I knew how to rig. And I was like, well, at least this will keep my skills up until I find another animation job. I'll be able to just keep practicing and stuff like that. But it ended up being great, except for if I do go to an event, people don't always know what I look like. And so they're like, I'm so mad I missed you. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is my 3-dimensional form that
This
you don't
is
see.
actually me. Okay, so I feel like we're already kind of like talking like we'd expect people to know. Do you mind if I pull up
Yeah.
Instagram here on and then share the screen? Is that
Yeah,
okay with you,
sure.
Ty? Because
Oh
I
my
feel like
goodness,
people
look at
need to
this
see.
techie.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Go.
Excuse my weird Instagram. It would help if I knew how to spell.
Spelling is
God.
Are you
hard.
sharing your screen currently?
Not yet.
Okay.
I figure nobody
Also,
wants to
fun
see what's
fact,
going on.
JV's name is Julia. You're both Julias.
Are we
It's a
both
Julia sandwich.
Julias? Oh my
We're
god.
both Julias.
The
Yeah.
best name. Sorry, Ty.
Okay. I'm gonna
That's fine. It's fine. I'll just see
Let's-
myself out.
let's see. I'm gonna share my
While she's pulling that up, yeah, like I was gonna say, like, if you know the Bookish Animator, you kind of know her story of how she got to this place, right? Like, oh my gosh. Oh,
is
the
it there?
K-pop demon hunters. Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Can you see it, Julia?
Yes, I can. Oh, my
Okay,
babies.
I feel like, and of course, K-pop Demon Hunter is so timely, right? My kids are obsessed, and so am I.
And you do this with your hands and your brain.
Yeah.
Which is like just
I know.
bonkers bananas.
Well, and
It's
I mean,
insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hands and brain and 2 other incredibly creative people. I hired a voice actor. I hired a composer
Wow. Oh,
for
wow.
a 30-second animation. 'Cause
You
I'm
know what
nuts.
though?
That's
It shows, honestly.
amazing.
Like these are gorgeous. And
Thank you.
one thing that
I
I
know.
love about you, because I've joined a couple of your lives, and you love an indie.
I
And
do.
we love that.
Yes. Well, and I think it's because I feel very indie. Like I'm not with a big studio
Mhm.
anymore. I'm not working for like a Disney or a Netflix or anything like that. So I feel like an indie animator. So I relate very much to an indie author in the same way that I am doing all the marketing myself. I am running my own business, and indie book authors and booksellers and everything, you are running your own business. And
Mhm.
so I love getting to work with them because they're just so passionate about everything that they do. They're so excited, and that makes me feel excited to work with them. And then also on the other side, knowing that I have this audience that loves reading, that loves books, that loves discovering new books, that loves being part of a book community, and seeing comments when an animation goes live of like, I've just pre-ordered this if it's before the release, or I've just put this in my cart, I bought this, or I get DMs later that are like, I read this and it's my favorite book of the year, and I would never have found
Oh,
it
wow.
if you hadn't
Yeah.
shared it. And I screenshot all of those comments and I send them directly to the author. So if you do ever come into my
Oh,
comment
that's
section
amazing.
and are like, hey, I really love this, it's getting screenshotted and sent to the author.
That's awesome. See, that's
so great. You're such a
fantastic.
big positive light on Instagram.
I
Like
try.
huge big positive light. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm kind of taking over. Go
No,
ahead,
you're
JV.
totally okay. I mean, I knew
Okay.
this going out because you're fangirling. I totally,
I know.
I'm all
I know.
on board with this. So, Julia, how far out are you booked? And I'm personally asking, and I'm also asking as a as a podcast host because I was like, I want her to animate some stuff for me, and then I'm like, oh, oh,
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
So I am booked out till 2027.
Yeah, you are
Woo!
incredibly busy.
Is insane. Now, I want to preface all of that with I worked my little behind off for 2024 to 2025, and I took no breaks, and I worked
Mhm.
18-hour days. If you watch my stories, I am up till 4 a.m. I don't sleep.
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere. I barely see my husband. He also runs his own business. So we're both, it's 2 workaholics that married workaholics. And so for 2026, I was like, look, I would love to have this thing that they call work-life balance. This sounds great.
What even is that?
What is that? It sounds wonderful. So I basically was like, okay, I'm gonna not do. I was doing 4 to 5 animations a month, so that's more than one a week. And it takes me
Wow.
about a week to do them. So
Yeah,
basically, I just didn't sleep for months and months and months and months.
that's not
Yeah.
healthy.
No, it is very much not. And
Yeah.
I'm currently, this is October is the first month in over a year that I've had no animations due. So like, not that I'm not doing work, but it's that I
Yeah.
don't have anything due this month, and that's
Like
the
a
first time.
strict deadline this
Deadline.
month.
No,
Nice.
Yeah.
How does
That's
that
good.
feel?
very
Do you even
weird.
know what to do with yourself?
No, I mean, like, I just got off of traveling like every 2 weeks, so
Oh
I'm
gosh.
kind of like in crash mode right now. Uh,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
I'm like, oh, I can sleep in. I can not have to wake up and immediately go, okay, and I have 12 things that I have to get done today. And
Yeah.
also like maybe eat at some point in there. Probably should do that.
Eating is a
Um,
good idea.
Eating's a good
Yep.
idea. Drinking water is a good idea. All
What
those
even
Staying
things.
that?
hydrated.
So tell me, I want to know, like, how do you get from an author contacting you to the full animation? Like, with the concept, is that something that the author tells you what they're envisioning? I mean, what all do you need? How does that work?
Yeah. So if an author comes to me, oftentimes they'll like send me a DM and be like, "I want to work with you." Sometimes they are like super prepared. They are the super type A. Like, I have a scene in mind. I know what I want. I'm like, fantastic. We'll work with that. Um, Other times, authors will come to me and be like, I would love if you would just pick something, which is really fun for me too, but it is
Yeah.
also a lot of pressure because then I'm like, oh, I hope
Yeah.
I pick a good scene that you like and that the audience will like and stuff like that. But it's helpful in those situations because I know after doing this for a year what does really well, what makes people really want to read
Mhm.
a book,
Yeah.
and things like that. So I can offer suggestions to like be like, okay, I think this would work really well. Also, things that I would find fun to animate, which that's always a plus if I'm like, yeah, now I get to animate this later on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, we start with like kind of like I have like a form that they can fill out, which has what characters are going to be in this scene. So it's generally, because I do a lot of romance, it's the like couple, the main couple, and I have spots for them to put in like, what do these characters look like? Because as much as I can read the book and take notes and stuff like that, and I do try very hard to read every single book that I have animated, which is a
Oh,
lot
Wow.
of books.
yeah.
Damn.
So, which it's always very exciting for me because oftentimes I'm doing this in anticipation of a release. So I'm getting an arc of a
Mhm.
book, and I'm always very excited and honored when I get to read something early. That's always very cool
Mhm.
for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I give them a sheet that's got character descriptions and stuff like that because authors know their characters best. Even if I can read the book and I can pick out all of the little details, there will always be things that authors know about their characters that we as readers will never know. And so I
Totally.
want all of those little details. I want all of the little mannerisms that maybe didn't make it into the book, but I can animate it or I can have it in my head when I'm animating.
Yeah.
So I have a form they fill out. We pick a scene. Sometimes they want it animated to an audiobook version, which is really fun for me because
Oh,
then we get voices to the characters,
that's really cool.
which is really cool. I'm doing some more of those next year, and I'm really, really excited about them because obviously, too, I'm a huge audiobook nerd. So
Mhm.
getting to hear the voices is really cool, along with the action of my animation. So depending on that, either I get just like a clip from the audiobook, or if it's not to an audiobook, I just get script. So like this is the dialogue that's going to be in the scene. And so I start off by doing character designs. So I send to the authors like a first pass sketch with what the characters are going to look like. And after that, I will give them a color pass of those characters, make sure that everything looks good to them. Then because I'm a 2D rigged animator, so you
Mhm.
think of like 2D animation of like old Disney 2D animation where it's like every frame is hand drawn. 2D
Yeah.
rigged animation is like the step up from that, not in like a hierarchical way, but just like a newer version of that. It's the industry standard of how most cartoons are made now. It's how I made cartoons when I was working in the industry. And so it's basically almost like a puppet. So you build this character that has hands that have the capability to move and all of these kinds of things. So you basically build this character that then you can move and animate. There's still a lot of hand drawing in there, but it's
Totally.
it's a little
Yeah.
bit more editable. So if I get notes back from an author after my first pass of animation, they're like, hey, can we speed this up or slow this down? I'm not then having to go back in and hand
Redraw.
draw every single frame. So for the kind of animation and the very, very tight, condensed timelines that I am working on, this just works the best for me. And I'm also quite fast at it, having worked in the industry for several years. So I do first pass of animation. That's kind of like a block kind of test. Sorry, I missed a step in there. Storyboards go in there where I just am like, okay, this is what the characters are going to do. These are the basic actions that they're going to do. They're very rough. I'm not good at storyboarding. I will say I'm a perfectionist, so I try and like perfect every little thing. And then I'm like, I'm basically already hand animating this before I even get to the first pass of animation.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually I will hire an actual storyboard artist for this. That would be very helpful to me. But yeah, we got storyboards, first pass of animation where you just block in the actions. They can see that what the characters will look like in their actual rigged forms for the first time. And I'll generally
Gosh, how cool.
render out one frame with all of the like the lighting and everything, just so that they can see what this is going to look like in the end.
Oh man.
And then we do last final pass of animation. I will send it off to them. I'll be like, hey, are there any final notes, tweaks of colors, tweaks of anything like that? I do all of the editing, so putting all of the, I generally have the dialogue already on top of it and everything like that. Any of the special effects that have to go into it, like candlelight flickering on their faces and stuff like that, that all gets done. And at the very end, they get their full finished animation. If we've done like really beautiful like character designs, I will also send them the character designs if they want to use that in posts later on. They're more than welcome to. And so like they've got a little bit of character art, and I generally do like a cover for them, like kind of like a mock-up cover with the artwork that we have created with my artwork style and their characters and their title and everything that they can use however they'd like afterwards as well.
This is so cool. Like my heart was like racing as you were explaining it, because I'm like, oh my
Crazy.
God, like what would it, I'm sure as an author, getting to see you animate their brain babies, which have so far only lived in their heads, is like, I don't know. I think that is like, I don't know, like a I see Jesus moment.
Yeah, well, I've had so many authors be like, they're alive. They're alive now.
Yes,
like they've
exactly. I'm
they've
just like,
only ever lived in my head, but now I'm seeing them. They're moving and they're talking and they're interacting with each other. And that's honestly, that's my favorite part of this new job, is that when I was working in the industry, it's so like you're on such tight deadlines. I worked in TV, so it was like very fast paced. And you don't have time with your supervisors to be like, they would try very hard to be like, you did a great job on this scene, but like, you don't have time. You got to keep moving it along. And it's your job. It's your day job. But when I get to send something to an author, I get like the all caps screaming text messages back from them. And it feels so good. And it makes me so motivated, and it gets them so excited. And I love like sharing little behind the scenes things in my stories to get people excited, and I love making people guess what the next book I'm working on is.
Yes.
It's so much
Yes,
fun.
I've
It's
seen
so
it.
hard to guess.
It's always
so
I'm
hard
like,
to guess.
what is it gonna be?
I'm like, this could be like 6 different books, but I know it's probably an indie, so it's probably not what I'm thinking.
Yes, and that's always so fun
amazing.
too. Yeah, because then you're getting people to like guess, but then you're like, oh, so you liked all of these things. Now here is an indie author that has all of these things and tropes
Yeah.
and kinds of characters you love, but in a fresh new story. Yeah.
She is the superhero of
Yes.
indie authors. The one they didn't need. Because
Not all,
like you said,
not all heroes wear
Yeah.
capes, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, like, if this was my job, I would schedule Zoom meetings when you like give
Like the
them
reveal.
the stuff to watch their reactions and just be like,
Or make
That,
them
like
film
that I
themselves.
could just see yeah, I could just see that, like, filling up your cup, right? Like, just,
Yes.
like oh, yeah, I don't know, and the way you're explaining it seems like such a normal, like, 9 to 5 type
Yeah,
job
to the
in
left of
your
the
brain, and I'm just
storyboard.
like, "You're an actual
Yeah.
genius." Yeah, they just hand draw and then mechanics, and then their elbow goes like this, and then it's absolutely crazy, and, I mean, we have to touch on the fact that the way that you kinda got to this place is because you were laid off from your job, right? The current
Yes.
one that you had?
Yes.
And I remember watching your first post. I think it's at like 7 million views or something like that right
Yeah.
now, where it was like, I got laid off from my job and I decided that I was going to start doing this stuff on my own. And how different is it being able to, one, create stuff that you love, that
Mhm.
people are reaching out to you to create, that they created, to your 9 to 5? Because I have to assume you loved working in TV and doing that stuff, or else you wouldn't be doing it as you're doing it now, right?
Yeah. Well, and like I said in that original video, I that was my dream job. That job at the studio, that was the dream job that I had had since I was a teenager, since I realized that I could do animation as a career. And I kind of
Mhm.
decided like, yeah, this is going to be my full-time job. This is what I'm going to pursue in university and do all of the things for. And
Yeah.
when I got laid off, it was devastating because as much as, I had a great team and everything like that, like, those are also your friends. You see them the most probably
Totally.
out of everybody, like in your day-to-day life. And so when we all got laid off, it sucked. Like it was really defeating. And also we got laid off in a time where there were no new jobs and there was no hope of new jobs. And so it was kind of
Yeah.
like everything that you had put towards this career that you thought was everything to you. And I very much identified a lot of my self-worth in the fact that I made it. And animation is such a tough industry to get into. And so the fact that I had done it, I had gone through all of this to get into the industry and then to get laid off was so like it it was like breaking all of the foundations that you had laid over like the last decade. And so
Yeah.
Yeah.
when we all got laid off, it was me and my entire team. We all got laid off at once. We all got laid off right after Christmas. It was like,
Oh.
it was
Oh,
not a great time for any of us. So it's dead of winter in Canada. We're all laid off. We have nothing to do.
and it's so
And it's
cold.
so cold and
So cold
miserable.
and miserable. Yeah.
So like the seasonal depression on top of
Oh,
not having
yeah.
a job anymore. But I was very lucky in the fact that when we all got laid off, I had one very good friend and coworker, Matt. He and I started meeting up for coffee once a week. And we'd go to a cafe, we'd bring our sketchbooks, and we were like, look, we're still artists. This our
Mhm.
our losing our
I like
jobs
that.
does not make us less of an artist, and we're
Nope.
we're allowed to still pursue something that we love. And so we'd get together every week, we'd draw in this cafe, we'd talk about our lives, we'd talk about the industry, hey, there might be a new job posting for this place, have you applied? No, I haven't. Let's like make sure that we're all applying to these things. And slowly we kind of like grabbed more of our friends from the studio and we pulled more people in and we started talking about, hey, what if we just did projects on our own? And so my
Oh
friend
my
Matt started
gosh.
doing his own animations. We had friends start freelancing for other things. And it was just like every week we'd update each other like, hey, this is what I'm working on this week. And so in the background of all of this, I started working on this project. I didn't really know what it was going to be, but I knew that I wanted like this little animated persona. And I knew that I loved books. And honestly, getting laid off was the first time that I was able to read again for the first time,
Mhm.
probably since university. Like, I didn't read much after university. I think because I had to read so much in university and you get burnt out reading texts that you're not really interested
Yep.
in. So this was the first I went back to reading romance for the first time. And so I was reading all of this stuff and I knew I loved books. And honestly, what I had anticipated this being was that I wanted to start like a YouTube channel, a Lizzie McGuire-esque YouTube channel show where I talked about books. That was my original plan for my little animated character. And then occasionally I would just draw fan art of and animate scenes and things like that because I thought it would be fun.
Mhm.
And like when I read, I see animation. Like that's how
The movie
yeah, the
plays.
movie plays in my head.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, it'd be kind of neat if I could show people what's going on right in here. That would be kind of neat. And so I kind of every week I'd come in and I'd show Matt what I was working on. And I'd be like, hey, look, I built this rig by myself for the first time and it doesn't break when you move anything, which is crazy. And so I had kind of given myself 6 months. So I got laid off in January and I gave myself 6 months to try and find another job. And I applied to everything. Like I was applying to animation jobs and I was applying into publishing to work on book cover design. And I did not get any of them. I did not. I got rejected from all of these jobs. And
Wow.
so
Bet they're kicking themselves now.
I have worked for some of them now, and they're all nice to me, which is great.
Oh, that's great.
So it's a very full.
That's a full circle moment.
It's a very
hey?
full circle
Yeah.
moment. So I also hold no ill will to these people because I had no
Yeah.
portfolio to show them that I was capable of this. I had an animation portfolio, and they were kind of like, I don't know what to do with you, an animator that wants to work in book cover design. So I gave myself these 6 months. July rolls around, it's 6 months, and I was like, well, I haven't gotten a job. It's Toronto. I need to pay rent. I need to be able to buy groceries, all of these things.
Yeah.
I was very lucky.
And for those of you who don't know, Toronto is so expensive.
It is incredibly expensive. It's a very high cost of living city. And
Yeah.
I was incredibly lucky in the fact that I had a partner who had a job still and was able to cover some of the bills. But that gets very stressful on him because now he's covering everything. And so we had talked and been like, okay, 6 months is what we can do because he also wanted me to find something that I enjoyed. And so when July rolled around and I didn't have anything, I was like, you know what? I guess this is it. I'm going to go work at like a coffee shop. I'll be your cool barista on the corner. It'll be great. And so I just started applying to like normal, regular 9-to-5 jobs. And I posted that reel on the way in to see my friends on the GO train, which features prominently in a lot of my videos, which is how so many people figured out I was from Canada, which was hilarious. And I just posted this reel being like, I lost my job. And I'm just going to do this little side project where I animate books because I think it'll be neat. To my 200 followers, mind you, and they were all people that I knew from high school, university, or from my work. And that video blew up overnight. Like it was so instantaneous and so unexpected. Like I went into work or like I went into coffee with my friends to be like, guys, look, I did a thing. And they were like, that's so cool. Congratulations. And like throughout the day, I would kind of get notifications and it was way more notifications than I had ever gotten before. And by the time I got home, I think I had hit 500 followers and I was like, this is crazy. So in the span of like, 8-10 hours, I had grossed so many more followers than I had ever had before in my life. And so I went home and I showed my husband. I was like, look at this. And he was like, that's great. Let's go out for milkshakes. So we went out for milkshakes. And while we went out.
Your husband is adorable.
That's so good, baby. Let's have some milkshakes.
He was so proud. He was like, this is amazing. You did so good. So while we were drinking our milkshakes, I refreshed my Instagram and it was at 700. And then we were sitting in the booths drinking our milkshakes and it just kept going higher and higher and higher. And my husband at one point was like, I think we might have celebrated a little too early. Like we should have waited a little bit to go get milkshakes. This is insane. And so like by the next day, I had over 1,000 followers and the video was getting close to like hitting like I think 500,000 views or something. And it was just absolutely insane. But it was also so reaffirming because all of the comments were other people who were exactly like me and exactly like all of my friends who worked in a creative job and had been laid off and were relating so hard to this feeling of like, well, I guess I'll just do this on my own then. I guess if I don't have that studio safety, I may as well start something on my own. I may as well. And there were so many comments of people being like, this has inspired me to try and do art again. I was feeling really defeated after getting laid off, and this makes me want to do stuff again. And that was so exciting. And so in that like first couple of days, I would try and make a video to be like, thank you guys so much. And I'd be like putting the like follower count or whatever. And I had to keep going back in to edit to like change the follower count because it kept spiking so fast that I couldn't keep up with like my thank yous. And so it was just truly, truly insane. And I am very grateful that people wanted to follow along. And it was very weird too, because I had worked on all of these cover animations, anticipating that I would post it to my 200 followers.
Yeah.
And then the first cover animation that I posted, which was for Elsie Silver's Wild Love, which was one of the books that I had read, and I had also made a point of like, I want to feature Canadians. I want to do Canadian authors in Canada, because I think a lot of times people don't realize that people are from Canada. And like, despite the fact that they are very well-known authors, a lot of times people don't know that, yeah, they're from here. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make a point of doing these Canadian authors. So I did her book first, and it did exceptionally well. And I was like, this is nuts, because I started this with 200 followers, and now this video has like so many thousands of views. And it was just like a very weird time to be like, I started making this to share it to my friends. And now there's this whole other community that is watching this, which is both very scary for me as a big, huge perfectionist, but also really exciting because so many people were excited to see what was next. And it made me feel really excited to keep working and keep trying, because there's nothing more like buoying as an artist than seeing people be like, this was really cool. This makes me want to read it. This book also was one of my favorites and stuff like that. So it
At
was
what
just
point
wild.
did you realize like do you remember the moment when you were like, I can make this my actual job? I can stop looking to work
Yeah.
at a coffee shop,
Coffee shop.
and I can make money with this. Like, do you remember the first person to reach out to you and be like, hey, would you do this for me? I'll pay you.
I do. I know exactly who it was. It was Zareen Medea. She is an amazing indie author from the UK. And she DM'd me and was like, hey, what are your commission prices? And I went, you would pay me for this?
What do you mean, as Tyler would say?
Yes.
What do you mean?
And like, I up until this point, I was still working, like I was still looking to find a job. And that was the first time that I was like, oh, people might actually like want to pay me for this. Because I was doing it for free. I was doing it as a fan artist, which I had always been on Instagram. So then I also had to be like, I have to figure out, how much do I charge people for this?
Yes.
Like, how do I, and I will say, Zareen is one of my very dear friends now, and we've worked together several times now on her books. But when I quoted her for the first time, she went, girl, I think you need to raise your prices. I'm going to pay you an extra 100 on top of what you quoted me because you are not charging enough.
Yeah. How do you, and I am assuming there isn't a ton of like market, because you're the only one that I know of that's like an animator for books, but I'm assuming that there isn't like a huge, hi Daniel-san.
Hi, baby.
Hi Daniel.
You just woke up from his nap.
Hi handsome
You say
boy.
hi.
You are so cute.
Hi handsome. Doesn't he look just like her?
He does. You guys look so alike.
And he's off. So if you hear crashing noises, just ran his face into the table.
Oh no. Oh, Baba. Okay,
Oh,
so back to
baby.
the question. Is there like a lot of market because for authors, like we do tier research, right?
Right.
To see like what covers sell, what are the blurbs, like how to market. And we look at like price comparisons and stuff. Is there something like that out there for you?
For animation of this kind, no.
No. I'm like, how do you come up with your prices and stuff?
Well, so originally I was like, look, I could do this for free, and until I gain enough momentum and gain enough experience that I feel comfortable charging for it. And Zareen was kind of like, you deserve to be paid for your work. You're an artist. You deserve to be paid. So I quoted her very low, just because I was like, look, this is the first time that I am doing this with a client. And so I don't know what I'm doing. And I also want to remind people, like, I was trained to be an animator. I was not trained to be a character designer or a storyboard artist or a compositor or an editor or any of those things. So I felt very insecure in my skills to be able to like accomplish all of these things, mostly because I had only ever done animation. I
Yeah.
didn't do any of the rest of the pipeline because when you work at a studio, you have one job.
Yeah.
So I ended up reaching out to a few artists who there are several animators online.
Yeah.
So one is Riley Quinn Art, who is an incredible animator, but she's also an author, and she does occasionally do animation for her books, and she also does occasionally do animation for other people. So I
Nice.
reached out to her very early on and was like, how do you do this? And so I
Yeah.
reached out to her. She helped me a lot to be able to be like,
Oh, that's
how
awesome.
much time are you spending on these things? Take into account the fact that you are no longer working at a studio that gives you benefits,
Yeah.
and that you are now probably working over 40 hours a week. Like, you are never going to hit that 40-hour a week that you would kind of
Yeah.
do, and you don't get weekends. That's the other
Like
thing
with
is,
any type of, small business that you start for yourself, right? I mean, Tyler does it with her she's got 1,000 things going on, but I'm talking specifically about her small shop.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
me as an author, and we still do have quote unquote regular 9 to 5s, but it's like the free time is no longer free. As
No.
somebody who runs their own business, it's just constant, constant. It
Yes.
doesn't stop really,
No.
even in
And you
sleep.
don't yeah, and you don't have sick days, you don't have coworkers, you don't have people that you can pass things off to if you
No
need to
one to
take a day
delegate.
off. If
Yeah.
you have a family emergency, which I did this year, where suddenly I had to fly back to Saskatchewan, and
Yeah.
it meant that I had to like message people to be like, I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to be able to complete this on time, because
Yeah.
you don't have a coworker that you can just be like, okay, I got to run, but
Yes.
you can take this on and I'll get you
One
next
person
time, kind
show.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very difficult. The other people that I reached out to that I really want to thank very, very much are the artists who had already been in the book space. So I'm talking like Lenny Kaufman and Marta and like Quinosaurus is her Instagram, but Chloe, which
Quinosaurus.
is just
Oh,
the
that's
greatest.
amazing.
I love her handle so much. But Chloe, all of these people who have been designing these like kind of illustrated book covers for so many
Yeah.
more years. And I was very much coming into their space uh, with something kind of new and different. But I was also coming in as people had asked me to animate their artwork. And I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea the legality surrounding, like, can I even animate your artwork? This is your artwork.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm not like, I'm
Mhm.
not claiming that it's mine, but I'm also touching it. Like, I'm moving it around. And so they have had so much grace and so much kindness for me and so much knowledge, just to be like, and here's some things that you should
That is
know,
the
or
best.
here are some like some client red flags that you should watch out for. And because I was coming in totally new, and when I blew up so quickly, my email inbox was like inundated
Oh,
with
I believe it.
stuff,
Mhm.
and like my DMs were just basically full, and I was getting reached out to by brands, and so they were the people that I could actually go to and ask, like, hey, am I being taken advantage of? The other person I want to really thank is Morgan Book. She's another Canadian bookstagrammer, and she was another person that I reached out to. She actually reached out to me very kindly and was like, "And how's your mental health doing?" And I was like,
Oh.
"Thank you." There were
Mhm.
so many amazing book people and people that are now very dear and close friends who reached out and were like, "This is a lot. And we recognize that this is a lot, and we want to make sure that you are doing okay," which was incredibly kind. And
That
they were also
is
the people that I could go to and be like, and and how do I use Canva? I hear Canva as a thing, and what is it? And do I need it? And should
Yes, you
I
need
be
it.
using it?
Yes, yes. You know what? I love that.
Canva
I
is the
love the
best.
the no gatekeeping, because there are definitely
Yes.
people in the
Yes.
sphere who gatekeep, and there
Yeah.
are others who don't. I remember early before I published my very first book, I went to a book signing in, well, I'm in California, but I went to Arizona. I'm not in Canada yet. But And there was an author, and she had like incredible edges and different covers and special editions. And I was like, hey, where do you? And she's like, all my stuff is on my website. I don't gatekeep. Here's my card. Here's my website. Go check it out. Here is everywhere where I order my books. Here are my illustrators. Here are my. I'm like, this is, and I try to do the exact same thing. If I have people come to me asking questions about books, I'm like,
Yep.
come and ask, and I will help you however I can. Because there
Yeah.
is this, to me, it's like it's not really competition. It's like we're all in
No.
this together. We're all just trying to survive, right?
Exactly. And especially in the age of AI, and there's so
Yes.
many things
Oh,
that
yes.
are taking over. I never want to be somebody like I'm so appreciative of all of the help that I have been given, and I want to do the
Yes.
same for everybody else. And I get constantly so many students in my DMs and in my emails
I love
asking
that.
questions, and I I send back like an essay of like everything I have learned and like all of the things that I can like help with, and or resources that I can send you.
I bet
Um,
they appreciate that, though.
I
Yeah.
really hope so, and I
Yeah.
know that like I want to be the person that I would have liked to reach out to, and I am very fortunate in the fact that my story is that like I had an animator very much bring me into the industry when I was a little baby animator, and shout out to Mike because he is the reason that I am here.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike. No, that's amazing. And I feel like that what you guys are describing is literally the book community. Yeah, we've got flaws.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We've got flaws, we've got stupid arguments and stuff like that. But I feel like Bookstagram is just like Brendan Francis, we had him on a couple weeks ago, and he talked about how the narrating community is so uplifting. No one's challenging each other, no one's trying to get up on one another. It's a collaborative environment, and it sounds like it's that way with the
Illustrators?
animators,
Yes.
animation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what is your title? Why can't I think of
Animators,
it?
artists, we all fall under the same umbrella.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys uplift each other and you want to help each other. And the fact that you came into this space so winging, like you came into this space like with just so much behind you when it comes to support from
Yes.
like your followers and stuff like that. And the fact that they weren't like, oh, she big now. Now she's trying to, do stuff, which is absolutely incredible. I just love this book community so
I do
much
too.
because
Yeah.
it is a pocket of positivity.
Yeah.
And I'll die on that horse or hill or whatever the saying is. So I
I
think I did that in the last
I'm
podcast. I'll die on that
I,
horse. The horse is fine.
I don't
It's
want to
just
die on a
me.
horse. I
No, I don't.
completely agree with you. I don't know how we've already been doing this for an hour. I have a thousand more things that I want to talk to you about, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think because I know how we get. We're like, we're going to wrap this up, and then we don't wrap it up for another 10 minutes, but we need
I
to.
actually have a request.
Yes. What's the
So
request?
we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna do like our outro, but would you mind holding on for a little bit into our next interview because it's a good friend of mine and she is a massive fan, and I think it'd be so cool to just do like a
Of
little
course.
hi hello
A little
type
meet and
thing.
greet. I love that.
Yes, and it's so unexpected because she has no idea.
I freaking
So
love that.
I just
Oh my God.
If
Okay,
Julia's
absolutely.
cool with it.
Oh,
Awesome.
absolutely.
yeah, if you're cool
Absolutely.
with it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. But okay, so you're gonna do your outro. I just need to know. So Julia, I know you're booked through
Yes.
26. Are you actually taking commissions for 27, or are you waiting until you're in a certain when can I reach out to you?
So I have right now what I have is like kind of an unofficial wait list where like people who are like, I would really like to work with you, but like whenever you can kind of fit me in.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
great. So I it's very unorganized, but I do have a list of people where I'm just like, if I have a cancellation for some reason, an author can't work with me anymore, or situations change, or they got to move
Sure.
it, I basically go down the list. I'm like, hey, do you need something? Do you want something right now? So I have a little bit of a wait list. I am not booking it to 2027 just because I don't want to book that far out. Because who knows what the world will bring to us
Yeah.
in
Oh
the
my
next
gosh, yes.
year and a
Especially right
bit.
now. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll just be a part of the US. We'll all just be neighbors.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's the way
I'm
Canada's
kind of
going.
hoping that California, Oregon, and Washington will just kind of melt with Oregon, but I'm waiting. At this point, we're just surviving one day at a time.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I've been in the US several times in the last like 2 months. I've been there like 3 different times. And
Yeah, for the events. That's so cool
yes.
that you're getting out and like doing that and just like doing that for yourself. And your husband's going along with you,
So
right?
he hasn't been just because my husband
Oh,
is Pakistani and he kind of looked
yeah.
at
Keep
the
him
US
safe.
right now and was like, you know what? I love you. I
100%.
think I
Yep.
think you do these ones on your own, and we will do other things together. So yeah,
Good.
but I have enjoyed it, and everybody that I have talked to in the U.S. is like very apologetic, and I'm like, you guys are fine, you guys are great, don't worry about it. We had a fine time crossing the border. We're totally fine.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's do our
No, that's amazing.
outro just so we have it.
Okay.
Because I'm
Yes.
assuming Emma's gonna
Okay,
pop on any
perfect.
second.
Yeah, she will. Okay. Oh my gosh, Julia, we want to talk to you so much more, and we totally appreciate with how busy you are and everything you have going on, coming on and talking with us. If you would ever like to come back on and do a part
We'd love
two,
to have you.
please just let us know. We will, whenever you're available, we will be available. But it has been so cool talking to you and learning more about you as a person and your animations and stuff like that. So before we let you go, the mic is yours. Let the people know what you've got going on in your
And where we
life.
can find you.
Oh. Well, you can find me on Instagram and YouTube. I'm the Bookish Animator on both. Upcoming. Remember that YouTube series that I had said was like kind of Lizzie McGuire-esque that I really wanted to do in those
Yes.
kind of 6 months that I was unemployed?
Yeah.
Well, I am
Yes.
working on it, and it should be coming out
Oh,
January of 2026. Should be
how
first episode
cool.
Oh my
dropping.
gosh.
I love that.
So cool.
I'm very much
So
looking forward to
I
that.
love Lizzie McGuire.
Me too.
Me too. So I'm very excited. It's going to be I hope people's favorite cozy, very non like just put it on in the background and let me talk to you about books
Mhm.
and let my little
I love
animated
that.
characters run amok in the background.
I love
I
that.
love that. Instant subscribe.
That's gonna be
Thanks, guys.
great.
Subscribe to her. Yeah. Subscribe to her on YouTube.
Amazing.
Ah. Okay,
And
so
then,
now
of
we can
course, so many more book animations next year that I'm so
all the
excited
things
for.
because
Yeah.
you
All the
are
things.
booked.
I am booked and busy.
Booked and busy. You need a shirt
That says
that says that.
with
Like booked
books.
and busy.
With books.
Or this one,
Yeah.
all booked.
Oh, her jersey is so
It's
cool.
Oh my
really cute. It's
gosh.
very fall. It's got like little ghosts.
Yes.
Oh, and a
I
little
love it.
cat. Oh my god, it's so cute.
You know, we tried to stay in theme.
Mine also says the bibliophile, I think, on it.
Oh yeah,
Underneath.
Oh,
and I love that it's
awesome.
yellow because your animated character has the
Yes.
yellow.
It is my
And
brand
you're such a
color.
like a sunshine
Very
on
happy.
Instagram. Like you see it, like it's just a happy place to be. And I figured out my lighting. So, at the end of the episode, so that's cool. Um yeah. Okay, this is so exciting. She has no idea.
I think
She's going to be so shocked. I think she's going to be like, "Oh my god. Is that who I think it is?" Yes, I believe.
want to say
Her name is Emma.
Emma, okay.
She is a bookstagrammer.
Yay.
And she is adorable.
gosh.
Her bookstagram is the Happy Little Book Club.
Happy Little Book Club. Hold on. I'm going to go
And-
follow her right now. And
Oh my god.
it's the Happy Little
Book
Little
Club.
Book Club. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can I knock one more thing?
I'm sure you
Jeez.
can.
I'm so sorry. My son literally got up, went that way, turned around, and ran face first into the
Is he
corner of my table.
okay?
He's fine.
Oh.
I'm doing the really bad mom parenting thing, and he's watching a movie.
Oh.
Kung Fu Panda. It's his
You're not a
favorite.
bad
I mean,
mom. You're a great mom.
we support animation on this channel, so
We do. We most definitely do. He loves Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, it's a great series.
Actually, his first words, he watched a lot of Dracula, and his literal first words were blah blah blah.
Those are good words. I mean, they apply to many a situation in life. Blah blah blah.
Many a situation.
Many
Yeah.
a sitch.
He's a little terror, but I don't think he was awake enough to be walking at that point. But
Oh,
I'm glad you guys got to meet him.
he is adorable.
Oh, thank you. I guess I have to give some props to my husband, but like, yeah.
So, Julia, is that what you're working on now? Is the animated show?
Yes. So I've got one of my dear friends. She's actually a filmmaker. So her background is all in filmmaking, and so she can do these beautiful, very cozy filming stuff. So we have back in September we filmed like a teaser trailer, and so I actually just need to animate it. She's waiting on me for stuff right now. I have to get my butt in gear and animate it. But that's my goal for this month, is to get our episodes kind of figured out and done. We're planning on getting 4 done for January, so that we have every 2 weeks there will be a new episode, but we have 2-month leeway by
So
January.
can I ask you? So I'm trying to picture it. Is it like those old like Disney movies or movies where you had like humans and animated characters? Is it gonna be like that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's gonna be so good.
So I've got an episode on like my entire process, and it's like my animated characters are like stealing stuff off my desk. They're interacting in the background.
Oh,
I'm like nudging them out of the way while I'm working and stuff like that. It's gonna be fun.
that is
This
so
is the cozy
cool.
stuff I grew up with, and it like takes
Yeah.
me back. They don't just don't make it like that anymore.
I know. And
Nope.
it's what I told. So my friend Michaela, she's the filmmaker behind this, and she and I were like kind of spitballing ideas, and I was like, look, I want the color scheme of the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, that like dawn scene where it's like the golden kind of light glow. I just like, I
Mhm.
want it to be cozy. I want you to be able to put it in the background while you're working, where we're talking about books, we're talking about art.
I
I
can't
can
wait.
go to little book events and show people the kind of behind the scenes of books. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Oh my God,
cool.
freaking
That is so
amazing.
cool.
That is
I'm so
Yeah.
excited about it. This has been so long in the making, and I've finally got time to actually put it into practice. And I'm
it's just like it gives me all the warm and fuzzies. Like it's just, I don't know. This is like so long, especially like your early years, right? Like you go to college or university and you have a career in mind and you're kind of grinding and grinding, and then you
Yes.
lose almost the magic in it.
yes.
And then
Mhm.
something happens in life, and it's usually something not great. So for me, writing started up again after my mom passed away, and it was
Yeah.
2020 and COVID, and the world was on fire. Not that it's on fire now, but you know what I mean. And it's like
Yes.
these devastating things that have to happen for you to be like, what the hell am I even doing? And you
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
your passion again. It's so weird how that happens.
It is, and that's exactly kind of what I want. Is I want it to be like a community of, because
Yeah.
authors are also artists, of artists being able to say like, look, I can do this, even if it's not full time, even if I
Yeah.
am scared that
Uh-huh.
it will be bad. I just want it to be a place where we're talking about like building community and making sure that like we are filling our own cup with things that
Yes.
we might not be good at first, but we're just going to keep trying and keep working on things. And it's going to be a little bit of exploration for me, because I'm going to try things that I've never tried before. I've got an
Totally.
episode on
Mhm.
bookbinding that I'm really excited about. Never
How
done it really before,
cool.
but it'll be fun.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we have
Hello,
Emma.
Emma.
Hi. You guys, I was sitting in the Google Meet thing that was sent like 3 months ago.
Instead of the actual
Emma,
link,
Yes.
do you recognize the other guest?
wherever
Hi.
she is.
Are you?
The bookish
Yes, I
animator.
just saw it. You just followed me on Instagram. Hi, nice
I
to meet
did.
Yeah.
It's so nice to meet you too. I just wanted to say hi before I head out, but yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to surprise you because I know you're a big fan. So
you. Are so cool. I was just looking through all your posts and I'm like, who is this? This is so cool. Like, how do you even think of these things?
You'll have to now watch the podcast, I guess.
You have
'cause
to watch the
I know.
episode, Emma.
oh, the plug.
I will. I definitely will be. Nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too.
Julia, thank you so much for taking the
course.
time and sitting with
Yes.
us. That hour went by way too fast. We're gonna have to
know.
have you
Yeah.
back.
I would love
We're
that.
gonna. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All
We'll
right.
let
it
you
was so
go.
nice meeting you guys. So nice meeting you, Emma.
Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.